Well, good morning. Appreciate everybody being here. Excited to get back and kickstart for spring practice. Being able to wrap up our winter program there on Friday before spring break. Really proud of our team, proud of the work that they've invested. Really proud of the strides that I've seen them take. And I know I mentioned after the tour duty workout, it was one of the best winter programs that I've been a part of. And we've got, I know we've had a good number of starters that graduated or you had an opportunity to go to the NFL or in the process of going to the NFL. It's his last year's team, but we do have a lot of returning experience. I think we have over 80 guys that were on the roster that were carried over here into this new year. Being able to have over 20, I think it was 23 newcomers that joined the program in January that have really done a remarkable job of transitioning in. We felt really confident in who we were bringing in the program, but really throughout the last 8 weeks, I mean they've proven that this is a place that they belong, and obviously excited about what they bring into our team, whether it was the high school freshmen that were able to join in early or some of the transfers that have come in. Just definitely a great group and like the work ethic and just the relationships that are being built within that group of young men. Definitely want to give a shout out to Coach Storms, his staff. I thought they were put together a great winter program. With all the things our guys were doing in the weight room, what they were doing on the field, you see in the body weights. Our Jaden and our nutrition team has done a great job with our players, continuing to build them. Some guys that needed to gain, I think you got guys like Pat Payton, I think put on close to 15 pounds here in the winter program. Some guys that needed to lose a little bit, did a good job of being able to find that balance. But you just seeing the body types continue to grow. One of the things I'm most pleased with is when you look at the overall, average of our team. I mean, it's the strongest we've been, in any of our time here as a team average for what there was. Which is saying a lot when you look at the age of our team. We've got some young guys that have really come on. And we had some very explosive and powerful players that graduated through the program. But I mean, our team average in bench, squat, power clean is higher than what it's been, and that gives me a lot of excitement and confidence in the work that these guys have done. And but now it's time to transition that out to the field, and they've accomplished what we needed to accomplish through the tour duty workouts. I think that the mindset, the approach is where it needs to be, but now it's time to go and push and get better. And that's going to be our focus as we jump into spring. A lot of new opportunities for guys. Some guys that have been here, and some guys that have played at a very high level that are looking to take another step, whether it's in their leadership role, whether it's guys that have been in a rotation looking to establish themselves as frontline starters, and then some guys that are looking to make their mark as newcomers into the program, whether it's a freshman. And I'll tell you this, the freshman group that started here in January, I mean, it's an exciting group. They can run. Overall, just I think and I know you guys got most of you that were here for that tour duty workout. I mean, you see speed, you see explosiveness. I mean, this is a fast group that we have. I would say that this is probably the fastest team that we've had here. Coming in, but now it's time to translate that to practice. It's to translate that into all different phases, whether it's offense, defense, special teams within the position groups, to continue to grow and develop the depth, but also the playmaking ability, and who's gonna separate themselves through the competition of what spring practice has, and for us to continue to challenge these guys to help them understand what they can do and what they can accomplish. So definitely excited about it. I think it's also to be mentioned, and this was actually sent to me the other day. When you look across college football, the continuity of our staff, as head coach and the 10 position coaches, sent to me. I think it's one of 5. If I believe I'm right on that, 5 teams in the United States of America that returned all 10 position coaches and the head coach. And I mean that's a a big accomplishment for us in what we're doing. It's tremendous support from our administration, and there were guys that had opportunities, but their belief in what we're doing and where we're going is something that I'm definitely proud of, and with what we get to represent. So, with that, having that continuity and continuing to push and grow as a coaching staff, I think we've done a nice job throughout the winter program ourselves, and in our quality control, seeing areas that we have to grow and get better, and we're all excited for the work that's ahead.
All right, first question will be Ira, third row on the right.
Spring's always obviously a heavy fundamental time, but with so many new faces on offense, will you have to maybe even dial things back a little bit more than maybe like last year when you had so much continuity from your core?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're gonna push, and there's we have some new faces, we have some new guys, but we also do have some experience, and you look at up front. I mean, with the offensive line, usually that's the one that kind of jumps out. We all know quarterback. I mean, that's gonna with DJ coming in, Brock, Luke, Trevor. I mean, that group, there's going to be a lot that's thrown on them. We're going to manage that well, but also I want them to be uncomfortable in some regards. I want them to feel that push and that urgency. But it's going to be a big fundamental focus for us. But it's also about making sure that we get the repetitions necessary to see where we are, to kind of see some of the things that we take too well, and to have a coming out of spring ball of where does that continued investment in these players' own time, or as we get into the summer, in continuing to guide and direct the work, all leading up to where we need to be for August 24th, and that is. It always comes down to the day. It comes down to the individual, work that we have to continue to get better. But everything has got to fit within the process of where we need to be come August. And so, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this group compete. And offensively, I do want to see them be somewhat uncomfortable. And so we're gonna not pull all the way back, but we're gonna. We definitely need to make sure that foundation is set the right way as we do move forward.
Next question will be Chris on your left, front row.
Good morning, Mike. What has impressed you about DJ since his arrival, and also in that quarterback room, Brock, his experience last year? How has he taken that in spring forward and into the spring?
No, I mean, I think those guys they're great young men, and when you sit, that's what being on a day-to-day basis with them, work ethic. Relationships, their care about who they get to do it with, the investment that they're making on their own time to grow and to get better, and that's something that I expected when DJ joined the program, and he definitely hasn't disappointed, and he's really come in. I think he's earning the respect of his teammates, really with who he is, and obviously what he can do, and then with Brock, with having that time at the end of last year, he faced some adversity with the injury that he experienced. You missing a lot of practice time during the season. You'll be kind of getting thrown, you're thrown into the fire there late. I mean, he is. I love his makeup. I love just the mindset of what he brings. The attitude that he takes in good moments, and then he's experienced some real challenges, and he just continues to push and get better. I think he's had a great winter program. He looks really good in what he's doing physically as he's growing. You could see the confidence mentally in what he's being asked to do, and just in our meetings, and you're really looking forward to his spring as well. And you take two guys, and Brock's still really young. Obviously, he's redshirt freshman, but for a couple of true freshmen that are joining, coming into the program, for them to have those examples of guys that have been here, and obviously with DJ and just the experience he has within college. I mean, I think it's a really good group, and a great quarterback room to be able to work with.
We'll stay here for Brendan.
On defense, you guys. There's so many veterans on last year's defense that were really good players as well. Lose a lot of that leadership and experience. I guess how do you go about replacing them for guys who have to step up in that regard?
Yeah, well, I mean, the great thing about our defense last year is we had some exceptional players and some great stars, and just in college football in general. But we played a lot of people, and we played on close to 24 guys that really were active in the role with what we were doing. And so even though there's some tremendous players that are leaving the program, great opportunities. Guys like Cheyenne Brown, Pat Payton, Josh Farmer, DJ Lundy, Fentrell, Azarie. I mean, you sit there and you see those guys of what they've been able to do and what they've been able to accomplish. I'm excited about Darrell Jackson. I mean, when you see him and just the continued growth that he's had with his body and the work that he's put in, it's a group that's played a lot of football, but now they're in a little bit different role. I mean, they're pushing to the front. They're trying to take that next step when it comes to the leadership. That capacity of their role, and I mean, and you see them getting better, and that's something that I've been pleased with. But also, you have some newcomers that have joined in. There's great competition. I think when you look at our defensive backfield, and that's going to be one of the fun groups to watch of who's going to continue to emerge, because I know we have talented players back there, speed, length, athleticism. But who's going to be able to show up and consistently, be in the right place at the right time, going to make the play when the opportunity presents itself. I mean, it's a very talented group. Same thing on our defensive front. As you see that, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those I would say younger defensive linemen. How they're gonna to rise up and compete with the guys that we have that might have a little bit more experience, out there on the field. To see them take those next steps, and you really can go through all the positions, because it's the same story at linebacker. You lose two great linebackers. DJ Lundy has been, he's played so much football here, but I think he can really take another step to being a really special player, here at Florida State, because he's done some great things, and then he's got absolutely has some talent around him to help kind of push that linebacker route.
All right, we'll go to Matt, second row on the left.
Hey Mike, you talked about the administrative support in terms of the staff continuity. It's pretty obvious when you see all the construction going on around here. Where in your minds has kind of that administrative support shown up the most, or the most important areas that's shown up?
I mean, I think you see the investment into the program. Just the things that we're doing from a facility aspect, the things that we're doing, helping support our student athletes on a day-to-day basis. I mean, whether what you see in the technological advances that we've had. I mean, it's something we put a lot of priority on, and making sure that how we're teaching, what we're doing, the efficiency, the effectiveness, the continuity within the staff. I think that's something that's really big. We were very proactive, throughout the season, trying to be in position that, when the season, was over with, that we were able to retain our staff. We've got some tremendous coaches, tremendous leaders. Being able to have all 10 guys at the position coach position, a lot of guys in support roles that even turn down opportunities to go be position coaches, and that's exciting for me, because guys believe in what we're doing. They see growth, they see personal growth, personal development, and we're all pushing in that same direction together. But that wouldn't happen without the administrative support and belief in where we're going, and then obviously what we're doing all around. I mean, you see the stadium, you see the football facility. I mean, those are big steps, and they're necessary steps. But being able to get that I guess pushing forward was something that was big, and I'm definitely grateful for that.
We'll go to Kurt, third row.
Losing Keon and Johnny, even Jaheim, a big part of the receiving game. I mean, I guess what are your impressions of that room going into spring? It seems like you've got, not a ton of experience, but a ton of viable candidates who could really push for playing time.
Yeah, we've got guys that have played. I mean, they've played a good amount, and you look at that room, all guys that have had moments and have showed up big. Now it's about the consistency and taking that next step. And when you look at Kentron, I mean, he's played since he was a freshman, since he's been here. So he's had some really good moments. Want to see him take another step. You saw even a freshman like Hakeem last year, Destin, those guys, Vendravis Jacobs. I mean, all had really bright moments last year. Guys like Darion Williamson, that Jakai, who's really been just a utility knife for us. But now it's time for him to take another step. And I thought even in the bowl game last year, all the things that Jakai had to do, I mean, it just showcased his versatility. And then now you add in some different elements with Malik Benson, somebody I'm really excited about. Jaylen Brown, I mean, guys that you feel the speed, you feel the explosiveness, coupled with the guys that have already been in that room. I mean, it's gonna be a fun group to watch. And then even Camden Fryer's been really good. I mean, I've been excited about him. BJ Gibson, some of those freshmen that have come in, we'll kind of see where they are once everything gets going full speed at us. But I think it's a talented room, but it's one that there's gonna be a ton of competition, and looking forward to seeing the cream kind of rise to the top.
Next will be Alberto in the back left.
Hey, Coach, so with the ongoing lawsuit, is that an effect on the players throughout spring practice or winter and through spring? How often do players bring it up? Is it at all in the mind of the program?
No, it's not. I mean, that's not for anything for our players to be concerned with. I mean, right now it's about today. It's about the opportunity that we have and to go get better.
All right, next will be Corey, back row on the left.
Going back to the receivers, last year you obviously had two very good ones, but you didn't take a lot of shots downfield with their speed necessarily. Is it going to be can it be a different offense because of the speed element that you necessarily didn't have last season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that obviously we know that's one of those areas we have to be better at, and we want to make sure that we're capitalizing on stretching the field vertically. We feel like what we do horizontally is pretty good, but we definitely want to see that element grow in our offense, and I do think that we've had a focus on that in the guys that we brought in, and haven't been disappointed through 8 weeks and just watching guys move and run, and now it's time to go out there and see how we can continue to build upon that through the course of practice. And because each year is going to be a little bit different, and when you look at what our guys can do, it always starts in the quarterback room and obviously up front, but then being able to spread from there. I mean, I like the physical makeup of this offense, and we got to go be consistent with it and work to go be able to put on display.
We'll go to Jerry, second row on your right.
Coach, it's been said that when his football season ends, that team is done, and you start building a new team for the next year. What are those things that you're looking forward to seeing as this team identifies itself?
Yeah, I mean, it's who are they willing to be? Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to put themselves in a position to compete for a championship. I mean, what are you willing to do to make that your reality? I mean, I like this group. I like the team that we have. I really love the young men, their mindset, their heart, the passion that they bring in wanting to get better. But through good times, through challenging moments, through success that we'll face. I mean, where do they go at that point? And you get one shot at it. Same thing we talked about, last year at this time. That 23 team had one shot, had one opportunity, and I thought they did a lot of great things. Now you turn the page, and from the minute we got back in January, our focus is to fight to get better, and to fight to build relationships, to fight for the identity of what this team is gonna be. And you have new faces, but you also have guys that some guys that weren't really even in a position to start shaving, and now you're seeing the hair starting to come in on their face. The bodies are growing up. I'm excited about this team, and I'm excited about the group that we have in store, and it's going to be a heck of a lot of competition.
We'll go to Aslan in the back.
Have you started to integrate any kind of concepts that DJ might prefer and like, or will you guys go through the spring and then sit down afterwards and see, where you want to go from there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you look at every quarterback. I mean, DJ, Brock. I mean, things that I've got a pretty good sense of what they do, and we've got a lot of versatility and how we operate and the things that we have done, and things that from 2 years ago, we were a little bit different last year than what we were 2 years ago, and just tying it to different skill sets of players that we had, and that was even with the same quarterback. And so you always look to grow and implement different elements of towards their game. So we'll get into spring. I mean, there's some things that we know that we want to continue to improve upon. We talk about the vertical passing, and we talk about some of the things that can help showcase the guys that we have up front in the backfield. I think that's going to be a really good group, and so I'm looking forward to how this offense can come together. And as those guys showcase maybe areas of comfort, or areas of great success, we'll definitely continue to build upon it.
We'll go back to Ira, back row on the right.
When we spoke to some of the newcomers in January and February, they talked a lot about like the personalities of Roy Dell and some of those guys who came in. What have they brought? We saw the physicality toward duty, but what have they brought in terms of personality?
No, I mean, I think they're great young men. They definitely, we talk all the time about finding the right fit for Florida State, and we want guys that, yes, talent, playmaking ability, the skill set. You obviously have to have that, but making sure that you have guys that care about others, that want to be a part of this program. More than just putting on the jersey. They want to build the relationships. They want to be able to make a positive impact for those that are around them. I think that's big, and it's funny. I get Jermaine and Jared were downstairs just a little while ago, and just seeing those guys interact. They never played together, here at Florida State, but they're both Seminoles. And Jermaine coming off an All-Pro season, he's here for 1 year, but when it's off season, this is where he lives, this is where he trains, this is what he does. And seeing those guys even interacting, it's really special for me, because both those guys were transfers that came in, but both those guys forever will be Florida State Seminoles because of the personality, because of the mindset, because of the the same things we're talking about with this group that has come in. And it doesn't I know, I guess the spotlight gets put on it when it is a transfer, but it's the same thing for a high school player that comes in. Seeing those guys and the way that they've transitioned, Jamari Howard's, Charles Lester. I mean, all those guys. I mean, you have 12 newcomers that joined, that graduated early, and now they're putting their mark on this program. And when you see the heart that they bring, you see the relationships that they're starting to form. I mean, it's exciting.
All right, next will be Jordan, third row on your right.
Coach, kind of following up on that, with 40% of the new roster, how do you kind of foster that brotherhood, foster the relationships amongst the players in such a short period of time? It's only been 8 weeks since January since they came in.
Well, it's one of those things that you look at it a year ago, and it really was about the same percentage. I mean, we had roughly 34 newcomers a year ago, and it's almost the dynamic of it. When we've been about 65% high school players have come in, and about 33% of the newcomers have been transfers. And so when you look at how that's kind of all come together, it's really a very similar number here this year. And I think that's probably working towards the new age of college athletics, with the change and with the transitions. But it's about being right. And there's plenty of people that have taken more transfers, and people point to ours because ours are good. Like they do a great job when they get here. They make impacts. But you also see the development of the young guys and that have been here and grown. Like you look at Josh Farmer, you look at Pat Payton. I mean, those are guys that have come in, and for whatever the expectation from the outside was. I mean, we got great players, and both those guys, if they wanted to hear their names called on draft day, they could have went out this year. They chose to come back, and I think they have a chance to do something really special. And they've grown up. Shaheem Brown's another one. You can sit there, Lawrence Toafili, I mean, Maurice Smith, Darius Washington. I mean, a lot of guys that have grown through this program. We talked about a bunch of the receivers. That's exciting to me. And then you bring in, some of the guys that have, maybe a little bit different path. I mean, some of the transfers that have joined the program. It's still about the right fit. It's still about, making sure that those guys can all, merge together. And like I said, they're willing to fight for this team. And when you have that, then you can do something really special.
We got time for a couple more. We'll come back to Chris on the front row.
health-wise, is there anybody you expect to miss the entirety of the spring and in general?
Yeah, I'll probably get into that maybe here as we get into probably let the first week kind of go and see. There's a few guys that will be limited. There might be a few that will be out, and I'll probably let y'all know that here as we get through it. I don't want to make a statement of somebody missing and then a chance for them to come back. So let me kind of see how that goes within the first week. But there will be a few guys that will be limited and could miss all of spring, but fully expect everybody to be ready to go for summer and as we get going for the fall.
Corey?
I know we're talking about this season coming up, but how rewarding, gratifying was it for you as a head coach to watch what happened at the combine in Indianapolis with your players? Just how rewarding, gratifying was that?
No, I mean it was huge. I mean those guys, I think any young football player that you always dream about the opportunity to go to the combine, to get a chance to be on that stage and hopeful to perform to a high level. But I think it's a great compliment to those young men. I mean they were outstanding in their performance. It was definitely a statement for their training, for Coach Storms, the staff that we have here that have helped pour it into them during their time here at Florida State, and then obviously the work that those guys have put in. I mean they were ready when their number was called, and excited about the feedback that we've gotten. It was when you send 12 guys to the combine, it's a great number, and even guys that did, a couple of guys that didn't go to the combine, just the feedback we're hearing on them. So I think it's going to be an exciting draft for our players, and you're definitely looking forward to wherever that number, wherever they're drafted, wherever they're selected, whatever team it is, you just see them continue to progress and go make the most of their professional careers. It's been well earned.
All right, we'll end with a follow-up from Corey.
Just a follow-up, was it also a statement maybe on how good the 2023 Florida State football team was?
I mean, I think, yes. I mean, you look and you see the depth, the ability. That will be one of the great teams that that is remembered. And we have a outstanding challenge in front of us to go and get better here in 24. I mean, that's our focus. We want to take those steps. We want to continue to improve. But it was the work and the foundation that was left by those guys that allows us to look at that moving forward. But yeah, that team will always, in my mind, be celebrated as one of the all-time greats. And we can look to the end and how it all finished. But that was definitely a special team that will forever be celebrated.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.